I sometimes get friends telling me that I focus too much on the negative stuff. And I guess I don't know, I guess it's probably true, but, depends on how much negative stuff has happened to you. How many of those friends have had cancer twice and have slept for months at a time because of the cancer? And so easy for them to say they can't relate. Just like someone who never has to fear financial destitution can tell you, oh, go out there and just make it happen. Yeah, boy, get out there and get it done. Right. I remember one time during college, I think I was a sophomore. I'm in physics at that point in time. I'm riding back from a job site, afternoon job site. They let me come into work at about 3 p.m. when all the other guys were getting off work, and I'd go in and I'd set the beams so the guys could come in and build the houses the next day. So I'd be the only guy on the site. And they trusted me with these big yellow machines and setting beams and stuff. And because I wasn't dumb, and I had a history with other contractors in San Diego before I started college down there. And but I was so broke. And I'm getting off topic here, but it just goes to the point about how people are just, it's not their fault. I mean, everybody has an environment, everybody has an atmosphere, everybody has, A, B, and C friends around them. And you just, you think that's all there is. And you can't imagine what is not in your realm. You can't. I mean, that's a fact. You can't imagine it. So you have to go out and experience it. And that's why I'm glad I've had the experiences I've had living in 7 different countries, various families, and so on and so forth. But I remember this one afternoon coming home. I got a big physics test the next day, and what was it? Fucking mechanics. I forget what it was. But I remember I was determined to get 100% on the test, and I did. I got 100%. Only person in the class. But I was coming home. I was like, God, I got to get home and study. I got to get home and study. Got to get home and study. And the fucking Volkswagen, the yellow Volkswagen that a friend of mine and I had bought when it was blue and all beat up, and we rebuilt it. We were going to sell it for a profit, and I was still driving it while we were selling it. I didn't have any money. And I knew I didn't have any money. I had some food. I had some brown rice at the house. And I knew if I ran out of gas at the work site, the boys had helped me out. I mean, there are gas cans all over the place. But I showed up, after they're all gone. And I'm basically out of gas. So I set the beams, I drove around, tried to find some gas. No, couldn't find any gas. I know I'm going to run out of gas in the Volkswagen on the way home. Now, I had planned for the worst case. I'm not a complete idiot. So I took the jar. Guess what was in the jar? Pennies. So I ran out of gas coming home on the 805 from Chula Vista, heading for San Diego State. We lived just off campus. A little yellow Volkswagen over on the side of the freeway. I get out. walking in my Levi's and white t-shirt with a jar of pennies toward the gas station. I'm thinking the whole time, oh, shit, I hope they'll loan me a gas can. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to give them the pennies and fill this jar up and pour it in the gas tank. So the guy at the station was, he was fantastic. Muy amable. Just a very friendly guy. You could tell that, he wasn't a guy who suffered from riches. He could relate to my situation. Por favor. Yo soy broke. So he loaned me one of those red gas cans. And I forget what 99 cents got you back then. This is in the mid-'80s or whatever. So we put some gas in the gas can. I walked. I did the walk of shame back down the side of the freeway on the dirt side path there next to the ice plant. The chain link fence. Got back to the Volkswagen, poured the gas in. I put that red gas can in the passenger seat like my buddy. I almost felt like, strapping it in with a seat belt, but we didn't have any seat belts in it. We had to replace those. So, but that was my buddy. And I took that gas can back. And I brought that guy a coffee and a donut. About the next, I don't know, 3 or 4 times I went down there. And he wasn't there. He wasn't there in the morning. So he weekends. I would go down and work weekends. I'd try to bring him a donut and coffee. And so, but he got the message. Because I pulled in there one afternoon. Amigo! Hey! He was there. And he had heard that had been bringing him a donut and coffee in the morning on weekends, even though he wasn't there. Oh boy. What was a challenging moment in life? I mean, look at that. Gotta carry pennies to pay for the gas as I go to my job in the afternoon where nobody else is there because they've all gone home for the day and I have to work by myself. Moving around these 1,000-pound fucking lumbers with big yellow machines. And, it's the kind of thing where you could easily kill yourself if you're not careful. What a life. But that was the 80s, Now, are you kidding? Could we get away with anything like that? Maybe we lost a few more people back then. Maybe the world was a little more dangerous. But, as far as the trust factor goes, we trust you to come in after we're all gone. You can use the big yellow machines and you can set the 1,000-pound beams and you can drive home with no gas in your tank and run out on the side of the freeway in your little yellow Volkswagen and walk to the store with a jar of pennies and ask Pedro to loan you a gas can. And he will, because he's a friendly guy and this is a friendly world and that's where we're living. Do I miss that world? Oh, absolutely. And did I make some mistakes? Of course. Ever heard of that word, Learning? It's misspelled. They should have spelled it Fuckedup. And we all need to do that now and then so that we get to a point in life where we're not fucking up other people's lives. We're still not doing stupid shit. The old yellow Volkswagen and the 99-cent red carton of gas, carton container, whatever. Pedro and the donut girl in the morning. Y'all must have memories like that, right? Where the tough times, you're completely humiliated, head hanging down, walking slowly towards your inevitable doom. Oh, I'm doomed. And then the sun rises on the experience at some point, and you go, thank the Lord. For those of you who want to thank the Lord. For me, it's just like, the world turns. It's going to keep on turning. It just got nothing to do with me. But there's going to be another day. And I really value. You don't go to dinner parties or cocktail parties. I don't go to cocktail parties at all. I'm not part of that crowd, but I go to drunk fests, like, yeah, give me another one. Yeah, shots, off of her tits. I want it off of her tits now. But no, it's not quite that bad, although, occasionally. You don't recount all the easy times. You recount those challenging times, and it turns out they are what makes life worth living. I happen to be living through one of those times right now, and the unfortunate thing is, you get to a point where you realize the challenging times are the interesting times. And so now I'm not even being challenged anymore. I'm just like, oh, wonder what's going to happen now. Oh, let's look at this. Let's watch this. And no fear, nothing. It's just like, wow, this is an interesting experience. And I haven't figured out that. I haven't come out the other end of that perspective yet. Once you get to that perspective where you relish challenging times and you understand that they can be looked back upon in a positive way, now that assumes I'm going to be able to look back on this current challenging time in a positive way. But I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of the other end of this, because of all the thousands of books I've ever read, I think I might be evolving, sliding into a different dimension of experience, just by virtue of having lived in the times we live in, and the ability to speed things up and live in multiple countries and multiple families and multiple cultures and so on and so forth. I mean, how many people have had that opportunity? 1700s, you're on a boat for a year at sea just to see somebody that doesn't look like the people you grew up around. Blah, blah, blah. So you get the point. Now, you can be living in an entirely different culture within a few hours. So I wonder what I'm going to come up with, what my out the end of the chute assessment is going to be. And clearly, people have been traveling forever. We've done all these things. So they have their perspectives, and there are probably books written that there are books written that I don't know about, but I'm going to do some commentary of my own. And I'm not sure it's worthy. I'm not sure it's worth the time to listen to. As I understand it at this point, you really can't explain anything to anybody. They have to experience it. They'll look at you, and some people are pretty good at looking you right in the eyes and pretending they understand what you're saying. But unless they've been there, done that, probably not. What a world. We're all a bunch of fakers until we make it. But then once you make it, what do you do then? And how do you interact with the fakers at that point? Just a boring exercise, drollery. And all the trivial little shit.